welcome back. I am about to head to Target for the day, and which is my favorite pastime of every day. Lately, I have been falling in love and gleaning so much from makeup artists, like people who have made this their career, especially from Katie Jane Hughes. I will link her Instagram below because she heavily inspires me a lot these days. I heard about Katie because I watch Allana religiously. She's one of my favorite beauty YouTubers. So if you want to watch a beauty YouTuber that's absolutely so relatable and precious, I'll link her below too. Yeah, I'm just going to get ready this morning, and if you would like to get ready with me, maybe set this on your counter while you do your makeup, and we can just kind of chat and get ready together. So to get started, I have probably watched like 20 to 30 videos of Katie Jane Hughes in the last week, and the one thing that I've gleaned a lot from her is that skin prep is everything. So I'm going to do that first. I am going to put a little bit of a lip balm. This is just Burt's Bees. They are some of my favorite lip balms on the entire planet. I will always rant and rave about Burt's Bees. This is their tinted lip balm in shade Hibiscus, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so conditioning, and it gives such like a pretty flush of color to the lips. I have really enjoyed this a lot. If I just did like a bare face like I have today, I feel like I look refreshed somewhat. The one thing that I am really trying to do a little differently, you know, you kind of with makeup and clothing and fashion, it's all very self-expressive and it's always evolving, especially with yourself. I feel like my fashion's like my style and my style of makeup that I prefer for myself is changing all the time. Lately, especially with summertime, I have been graced with a lot of freckles and I'm trying to go in with a little bit of a lighter hand with my complexion products. That is why I was really gravitating towards this particular makeup artist, because she's all about your actual complexion coming through more than a foundation. So for your face prep, first thing is make sure your skin is exfoliated. I did that last night. During the day, I always make sure to put on an SPF first. So I just applied a little bit of this Chanel multi-use illuminating base. Pretty fancy words for sunscreen. For moisturizer, what I've learned is that it's nicer to go up on the areas that you would be highlighting the face first. I always take my moisturizer, kind of warm it up in my hands, and then apply it to the tops of my cheekbones and then the perimeters of my face. My chin, down the bridge of my nose, and really like pat that into the skin on areas that you are going to highlight later, because this just already gives your face a little bit of a glow in those areas and helps you have like a glow from within. I've really been enjoying that method a whole lot. Something else that I've learned is if you just kind of get the blood circulation going on your face. You don't slap yourself around too much, but you can be a little bit more aggressive by like pinching your cheeks, tapping on the cheekbones here. But what that's going to do is just get the blood working in your face, and it will help with a little bit of pigmentation around the cheeks. So again, when you're going on top with your makeup, your face is kind of already flushed and you have that natural beam versus relying solely on products. Now I'm going to take my concealer, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in shade Light Peach, putting it on my hand first, like so, with my fingers tapping and concealing. And I am just going to spot treat a couple of areas that I might want to conceal a little bit. Jumping right in with my foundation. This is by Flower Beauty and I have it in shade Natural Beige. I am just going to pump it again on the back of my hand. I'm not going to use a whole lot, maybe 2.5 pumps. And then taking a little bit of my Makeup Revolution Enhancer drops in shade Starlight. And I'm going to just kind of make my own little complexion cocktail. Mixing those together, which gives me kind of like a dewy, glistening makeup base. Don't laugh at me. But in the several hundred videos that I've watched by this particular makeup artist, she uses an eyeshadow brush to put the concealer or foundation on the middle parts of the face and then kind of fans it out. And I've tried it and it's weird at first. It's super weird, right? Because I'm used to using like a huge beauty blender or like a big kabuki brush. But this method is really interesting because it lets you have like a lot of control. And that's the one thing that I have heard her say whenever she is doing this in videos, is that she uses a fluffy eyeshadow brush because it really lets her play and have control and really get a say in where the makeup goes. With a little bit of the extra that I have on my hand, I'm just gonna put on my fingers right here and kind of just go over and really make sure everything is well blended and kind of blend outwards, shearing the product out as I get to the latter half of my face. A lot of people have the majority of their discoloration in this area, like this center area of their face. And so that kind of takes care of that and gives you a little bit of a dewiness from the front. But then as you shear it out on the sides, it really allows for your skin to show. It's a little bit better than my skin, but it's still my skin, you know? Now I'm going to do a little bit of a blush. With this kind of method, it's nice to keep going with cream products. You can put in a powder if you'd like, but just to keep the radiance and dewiness alive, I have been sticking with a lot of creams. I've used this before, you already know if you've seen me use this, but this is the Starlit Studio Holographic Light Year Stick in shade Jupiter. I'm not kidding, this thing was like $6 and it's one of the best cream blushes I've ever used. It's so easy to apply. It's in that kind of packaging that looks like the Milk makeup packaging. You need to go to Target and try this. It's bomb. I love it. And with my fingers, gently pat that in. And the way that Katie describes it is when you're applying and layering makeup, it's like icing a cake. You wouldn't go in on your like second or third layer of frosting and put just like a crap ton of pressure. My mom is a baker, she loves baking. And I know that when she gets up to that second and third layer of frosting, she has to take a really light hand or she's going to disrupt all of the work that she put in on that first layer. And so it's the same with your makeup. You don't really want to go in with a really heavy hand once you've applied a layer of makeup. You want to go in really light and just blend a little more gently so that you don't disrupt anything that you've done on your skin previously. I'm going to kind of take a little bit of that excess and rub down the center of my nose, at the temples of my forehead. I want that flush to be at a few places, not just on my cheeks. That's what kind of makes it a little more natural. For my brows, I'm going in with a clear brow gel. This is by ColourPop and it's called the Brow Boss. I bought this at Ulta recently and have actually really liked it. It holds my eyebrows very nicely and I already have really dark hair everywhere. But I have really dark brows already. So it's nice on the days that I don't want to go in with a pencil or do anything else. I just want them to kind of look a little bit more tousled and like a messier brow sometimes. And so I can just go in with this brow gel and really like liven up my eyebrows. And the hold is really great. And it has that kind of sheeny vibe to it. So it goes well with this whole glossy situation we've got going on right now. For my eye product, I am just going to go in with one shade across my lid. This never gets old. It's so beautiful. This is, again, from ColourPop. It is from the Villains collection. This is their Jelly Much shadow in shade Cursed, and I am obsessed with the shadow. I am just going to apply this with my finger. Pretty. And I also love this shadow because I will go a little bit higher than my lids so that if I look down, it's just got the most reflective pigment. It looks wet on the eyes, and I just love makeup that looks like you're drenched, but you're not. You know, there's just It just gets me.
It just gets me.
This mascara is an OG. This is the Covergirl Lashblast mascara. And I can't think of this mascara without thinking of like the first couple seasons of America's Next Top Model, because you know they always would have to do that, you know, Covergirl commercial towards the end of the competition, and I just remember them having to learn the lines. And I remember them doing a commercial for Lashblast, and my sister and I, no lie, knew like every word to that commercial. We could have done it better. We could have done it better. I am just going to warm up a little bit of the perimeters of my face with this Wet n Wild bronzer in shade Sunset Striptease. Oh, so fancy. And as you can see, I've almost hit pan on this thing. This bronzer is so good, and it's so inexpensive. So I'm taking a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna kind of go on the exterior parts of the face with a very light hand and just warm up my skin just a little bit. For my highlight, I am actually going to use another Starlit Studio product. This one is a holographic light year stick in shade Moonlight, and I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but this is just like a wet highlight with some glitter. And while this isn't just like something that I will use every single day all the time, I've loved how creamy this looks on my cheeks and how it just gives like a wet reflective look to the tops of my cheekbones. Like I just can't bother to go in with a powder highlight when there's this much dewiness on my cheeks. So going in with another cream product is kind of been my jam lately. I will even take this because it has a little bit of glitter and I'll put it on my décolletage. Like this just brings me back 90s kid vibes. Remember when they used to sell these at Bath and Body Works, and we like roll on glitter was my love language. I'm not kidding, it was so good. So this is a major throwback and I just love the way that it looks. I have been loving the look of like a very blotted kind of lip stain. It's a vibe that is very effortless, editorial. The way that I do that, picking colors that almost look like a popsicle. So whether it's like a pretty pink or a pretty orange red, something that looks like you've been sucking on a popsicle all day. So this is my favorite orange red, which is a limited edition MAC lipstick. So I don't think you can find this anymore. In shade Barbecue. If you want another alternative of something they actually still sell at MAC, I love this pink shade by MAC. Anytime I hang out with my sister or my mom, I'm always putting this lipstick on them. My friends love this color. Anytime I'm doing their makeup, they're always like, can you do that pink lipstick? So this is shade Lickable and it's by MAC. But this lipstick by MAC in shade Barbecue is what I'm gonna use today. It is just like the perfect orangey red and I'm obsessed with it. MAC has several orangey reds, so just go in there, ask them for an orangey red and you will find one that is not discontinued. I start with the inner rim of my mouth and kind of paint and blot that on. I go a little bit outside of the rim of my lip just to give that really blotted lip stain effect. You almost want it to look a little messy. And so for some people, this may be like, oh my God, your OCD might kind of like show through. But for me, I think this is such a sexy lip. I love doing my lips this way. On top of that, I will usually apply either a clear gloss or some kind of nude sheer gloss. Today, I'm going to use, this is by MAC and it is the shade Lust. And I think this is just one of their lip glass products. And I am not gonna use a lot of this, but just across like the center of my lip towards the inside of my mouth. I'm just going to apply that. And it just gives a really pretty succulent look to the mouth. We love her. She's a queen. She's a queen. All right, guys, that is the finished look. I love how this is just the best of both worlds between having more of like your actual skin and playing with color. I feel like it's just a perfect little merge, little family that I'm all about right now. I hope that you were able to take a couple of things from this video. I tried. to convey them to the best of my ability. But if you want to hear from the master herself, just check her out on Instagram. I will link her down below. I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.